And go back to my sharing. Any questions thus far? Anybody understanding why real estate works, why we applying these principles, and why we know we can help you win? No, no comments, no questions. Okay. Okay, so when we learn to identify the deals that we have, it takes the guesswork out of it. We literally show you how to start from a reverse engineered approach. Go to a market, go to an area where we know the property is trending at a higher sale price. So you know you can exit that property at 250, 260, 300. And then you look for properties in that market. We show you how to find those prices properties between 50 and 70 that may require 70. You're at 140, you can let it go for 250. So you get immediate appreciated value. That's one of the principles. Put in a little bit up front, it has more value. Instead of taking a long period of time, you can shorten that time of appreciation, which we call forced appreciation. We show you how to enter a banking relationship using other people's money. I can't very much go say, I want to get a loan. Why? I want to get a loan so I can go buy me a stock portfolio. They may do it, they may not do it. Most times you're not going to get a lender to say, I'm going to finance a stock market portfolio because they say there's risk. But they'll give you that money for a property because they feel that that's a real asset and that asset can be reclaimed to recover those monies. And so when I show people how to leverage their relationship with the bank using other people's money, it allows you to gather more real estate faster, which builds to your balance sheet, builds to your portfolio, and help you move yourself into a different position. Once you reach the cash flow that you use to go to work, you have reached your financial freedom. If you're leaving your house for $6,000 and that's what you're bringing home, and you have now brought enough assets to bring home $6,000, you have earned your financial freedom. Now you have those 40 hours to invest in larger projects and larger deals. And most times you can leverage the assets that you've acquired. I want to talk about financing, not just with banks, but grants. In the state of Michigan, we have something called the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. And just last Monday, which we were sharing with the team, because that was the day that the grants opened. That's why we kicked off last Monday. And again, my apologies, but they offer grants, a grant of 100,000 up to millions of dollars. It's just based on the size of the project. But if you have a abandoned, I shouldn't say abandoned, if you have a vacant, unoccupied property that you want to acquire or have acquired already, and you want to rehab it so that it can be rented, as long as you use 25% of that property. So if you had four doors, a four-unit building, and you gave one unit to a 60% average medium income, they call AMI, then they will give you up to $100,000 per door or $400,000. So a lot of times we have to learn in real estate how to work with our municipalities. They give money because the housing need is so tight that cities and counties and states, even the federal government, know that people need to be housed. And if you help be a part of that solution, that housing solution, they are issuing grants. So I applied last Monday, requesting 100,000. I have a 2 unit that I'm going to put under development. As soon as I find out the answer to this, hopefully I'll get to use $100,000 of their money. And if that's the case, then I can knock that out over the next 90 days. If not, I'll just go and work with my banking institute and gather monies and get someone in these properties so that they can have housing. So the grants through the MEDC is a huge thing. We have something that happens annually. And I think also they're going to do it in the spring, but $60 million is what they're putting out for you to do your real estate. Now I'm going to put in the chat. I want you to answer the chat. Could $60 million, if you ever get a part of that, could that help you start your real estate portfolio? And I'm bringing up the fact that MEDC is doing this. So why would I encourage you to get into real estate if I thought it was a bad deal when the state is paying millions for you to get into real estate? Does that make sense to you? Would you take advantage of real estate opportunities knowing you can get grants for it? Let me just see a yes or no in the chat. Give me some feedback. So that's important to know that this is an option that's available to you. It's an option that's available to you. And so this is a clear indicator that real estate is important to do because they're willing to give you up to millions and more than that. So I'm going to stop sharing because I want to go to the website. I have it open here. We was in a course with the real estate, no, they call it RCC. We just closed out during that session where you actually go do commercial development in your city. You know how they have like in Detroit, we have 7 Mile, 6 Mile, Gratiot, Livernois. We have those major corridors. If you're not from Detroit, you have major streets in your neighborhood that has all the little retail, the gas stations, the restaurants. Those corridors in Detroit, we have something called RCC, where they are actually helping helping cities redevelop. You can spearhead that development in your city. This is also a part of the MEDC. And guess what? They are giving money away for that. So maybe you want to own, let me just get this up here right quick. Maybe you want to own a commercial piece of property. You don't want a single family residence. That's okay because the state is paying for that also. Let's see what we got here, why it's not opening. So I'm going to share this with you because this is important to know when you think about real estate. I don't want you to think you just have to concern yourself with your own pocketbook. If a state is willing to put money into housing, is that not a place where you should partner with the state and build some wealth? Now, I have two mentors, amazing sisters. We have the Women's Sustainable Development Initiative, and I need to put that in the chat so you guys can join on the second Wednesday of every month. I think it's the second or fourth Wednesday of every month. We come together as women from across the nation, and you get to hear these amazing stories of what women are doing in real estate and real estate development. Some of it's commercial, some of it's multi-unit, some of it's taking old buildings that may have been abandoned for 10 years or more. And the state is giving these grants to help them put that housing stock back on the market. You might be familiar with low income housing tax credit, referred to as LIHTC. Well, 4% or 9%, they have two categories. You get tax shelters. You take the taxes, what that property would be worth once it's renovated, and people will buy that tax credit to get a credit against their business revenue, but they give you the cash money. They get it at a discount. So maybe they would have had to pay, just for easy math, say they have to pay $1 million in taxes every year. And I have a low income tax credit project. And I say, okay, I got 9%. That means they can take a discount of 9%. Now you may say that's not a lot of money. But if you talk about 9% of 50 million, 9% of 2 million, that's substantial. And that dollar amount that they get to reduce, they give it to me in exchange for paying their taxes at a discount. And so I get that cash money up front. And over time, I can leverage that discounted might help me build my property so it has a capital stack. But this is the Mishta. It was called My Neighborhood. As you can see, it's throughout the state. There's regions. And then you have Detroit, which is just, oh, it's all by itself. And they also tell you, how much money is available for each of these regions. Let's see if we can find that for you. I just want to show you this because it's important for you to know people are getting paid to go into real estate. Getting paid to go into real estate. This is your region. You just pick which region you're a part of. There's the action plan. I'm going to show you this. This is what this municipality wants to do. And let me try it again here. See if I get it to come up. Oh, I'm blocking it. Okay, so check this out. This is what this region is willing to do. Can you all see this? Somebody can just tap, come off mute and say yes. See the page one, housing partner. Someone unmute, say yes for me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. When I'm sharing, I can't see the chat box, but this is just the goals that they have for this region. You would have picked any region that you saw in Detroit. And if you could come and show that you're going to help them meet these goals for the selected region that you have, then you are able to get up to a minimum, $100,000. Now, yes, it's competitive, but since you know what they want, you just strategically position yourself to say, I can help meet these strategies. Because I am a contractor, I focus on a segment that I know most people are going to talk about housing, low income, etc. What I focused on, because they say they want to use housing to help with the skilled trades. So I focus on two. And to be increased availability of this regional housing and opportunities to form improved policy resource program decision making. Come over here and they're asking, let me see if I can scroll down. Using public-private nonprofit operational platform for housing. Data include available land acquisition. Here, construct this one I hear too. I did two. 3 and 2.23. I focus here support the abandoned expansion of housing that's affordable and fairly success, increasing the availability and demographics, diversity of workers in the construction, planning, and zoning. So I said I have real estate that I would teach people the skilled trades on. Now they have higher wages. They make enough money to rent the houses that are now available. Everybody cannot get the few selection of 20% affordable housing. Some people's going to have to pay market rent. Yes, some people's. I said that on purpose because people need to understand there's only so much affordable housing. It is not even that affordable. I was talking about a project today. They mentioned affordable housing for a studio is $1,200. You have to be making some good money to pay $1,200 for a studio in the construction space. That is highly possible because our wages start at $25 an hour to $35. And when they actually become journeymen, they're at $50 to $70 an hour. This is a wealth transfer with construction. So I put my focus on the housing ecosystem, saying that we need to create more skills who can build more housing. And I'm making rehab houses to give them that hands-on experience so they can go and do the new construction. Does that make sense? So you can partner with municipalities and get huge bundles of resources. So I want to go back. Let me just stop sharing this page, go back to the main page. I had a gentleman, he got $2.3 million for a project. It was a new construction, and another entity gave him 2.9. So he had $5 million given to him on his $15 million project. The bank will only finance a deal up until the point where your rental income will support the debt. They like it to be so what they call a 1.2. For every dollar you spend, you have $1.20 left for other things. So long as you can show that ratio, they'll usually lend you the money. But a lot of times, because I said these construction costs are so high that they have to close that gap with these grants like this one. And this one will tell you how much money they will give you. So if you get 1.3 or, then you're able to fulfill the capital stack requirements and can still close on those deals. Now, this is, let's see, we can show you who got some money in the last round, 1 and 2 round. Is this making sense to people? The reason I'm showing this because I don't want people thinking they can keep doing real estate and they keep going look at their bank account and say, well, I don't have no money. Well, look at here. The state gave $59 million away. And look how many units, 1,100 units. Do the math. Can somebody tell me, is that almost what? If they only got 1,100 going into 59 million, that's a lot of money that was spent. And
Kim, I have a question.
go ahead, please do.
Okay, and sorry about my dog barking in the background,
Go right
but
ahead. We are home. That's why we do it in the evenings.
just to go back a little bit for the Michigan developers list that you just showed us,
Mhm.
are you saying just go on there and click any of those links and become an investor? Is that what you're saying?
I am saying just that if you want to do a development project in those regions, each one of those regions have a bucket of money associated with it that you can apply for. And the reason why I want to share that with you is because too many of us won't do real estate because we said it costs a lot of money, and it does. It does. But you're seeing here that they're granting. Grant means does not have to be repaid. You can put a deal together and request grants for your deals. I'm doing just a 2 unit. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get the grant or not, but it's worth applying, correct? And with
Anything
that,
is worth applying. But okay, so are you saying take $1,600 and choose one of those to become a partner in?
this grant has already opened as of last week. I'm just going to show you what was done in the last round. Somebody was granted 625. This is the region they are, ABC. They went by the alphabet. You saw that, right? Remember we saw the map? Do I need to show it again? They showed the
No, we
areas
seen the
each,
map.
huh? Want me to show you the map again?
No, we
Okay.
seen the map.
Okay, so in Region A, here's 3 projects, 625. Somebody only needed 75,000. Somebody only needed 383. Somebody took 625. They'll go up to 1 million. This person in B, in Marquette, they actually got 1.6 million. That's the Marquette Land Bank. That's a municipality. It doesn't even have to be an individual. Okay. Some of these LLCs are individuals. This person, AK in Financial. They're going to fix 6 unoccupied rehabs. They gave you 584. That's $100,000 per unit. Is that not almost? I'm just rounding up the math. They have 6 unoccupied properties to rehab. $50,000 here, Young Street, 141.6. They only have 3 properties to rehab. Look at here. 94.4. They have 2 properties to rehab. That's what I'm hoping mine's gonna say. Here go your 94,000 on my 2 unit. And I'm gonna let them rent it both at 60% AMI, which is 1296. If I rent it for 1,000, I'm even lower than what they say is the average median. The housing need is so great that they're giving money away for everyday people, going from 25 units to 6 units to 4 units to 1 unit. $100,000. That was a Habitat for Humanity. You know, they are a nonprofit. They have more credibility. They're very established, but still, you see what I'm saying?
I No one else is saying anything, but I just want to ask them,
Go right ahead. Take your
do y'all
time.
understand what she's saying, or do y'all feel like y'all lost?
That's what say stop me. Let me
'Cause
go back. Let
I
me
need
let
to
me stop
know if I'm the
sharing.
only one that's not actually following. Are
Say
y'all
that again.
following, or what? What am I missing?
Who's speaking again?
This is Lisa Pickens.
Okay, Lisa, what was your
I'm
question?
sorry. So I was just asking the others, are they understanding what you are saying? Because I'm just
And if you
seeing,
can't
feel
talk
like
or you
I'm
need to put it in
lost.
the chat, just say yes. Am I required to be a Michigan resident to apply for that grant? No, you are not. You are not. There was a question. Those grants open and they're from people just, it's you, but your property would have to be in Michigan. Hopefully that answered your question, Contisha. You don't have to be in Michigan, but you have to have a project in Michigan that's going to provide housing for Michigan residents. Okay, we got that part clear. And I want to show that because that's why I'm driving around Detroit. Because these grants are dropping. The city of Detroit is about to drop some grants. Okay. Housing is here. I don't know about you, but I didn't know the state would give me some money to fix my own property. I did not know that until 2 years ago when I joined the Women's Sustainable Development Initiative with women. And I've been using my own money, banking money. But why? Doesn't it make sense to use their money? So are you clear, Lisa? I have a Samsung SM. Do you mind coming off mute and just tell us your name and I'll rename you so we just know who's in the room? Samsung SM-A. Someone just recently joined us. No, don't care to share? Okay. Lisa, thanks for your questions and those in the chat as well. Um,
I apologize, Kimmy. That's Michelle.
okay, I'm just going to rename you Michelle, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I have a few more in my waiting room. Hold on.
Mm.
Let's let some more people in. Okay, I think I got everybody in the room now. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to share that because housing is becoming so critical that with all the budget cuts this administration has done, they are still putting dollars in the bucket for housing. And no one's telling us to go get this money. Okay? I want you to know this money is available. Now, that's my neighborhood. MI is the abbreviation for Michigan. They just say my. Now, that grant's posted last Monday. It's first come, first serve. So it may be out by 1 week in, but we'll find out in a couple of weeks. But it's going to come back around. But now that you know, what I recommend you do, was why I'm bringing this up, is go get that application and go fill it out. Maybe you won't get any money this round, but guess what? You'll be ready to get all your research. That's how I did mine. I knew everything to do. So soon as 8 o'clock came, boom, I just cut and pasted from a Word document and put the answers in the sheet. Cut from the Word, put in, uploaded the file that they need. I had every attachment that the file needed. So I strongly encourage you to do that. Now, Cantisa, I'm not sure what state you're in. I believe you might be in Florida, but I am certain that the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is US, has given grants to your state that you are eligible to go get the exact same way. This is not exclusive to the state of Michigan. Now, your program might have some other parameters, it may have some other baselines, but I'm sure it exists because we all get our monies from the federal government. And that's why I had to share that piece. So let me go back to the other part of my sharing on my presentation. I get excited about that because, like I say, I've been doing real estate for 30 years. Nobody told me I can get free money. And I like free. I just like the way that sounds. I don't know about you, but if you like free, put in the chat free. Just type free. Real estate can be done. So those are the grants in MEDC. Now, I told you about housing. Now, MEDC for the state of Michigan, Michigan Economic Development, also will give you money. We're in the city of Detroit. We have a lot of vacant land, a lot of vacant lots. They will give you money for revitalizing that land to make it like a park. Put a couple benches, maybe a gravel path, some natural wildflowers, maybe a couple fruit trees, and or placemaking space with a little stand on the back that people come and gather and drink their tea with a picnic table. They call it the revitalization and placemaking grant. RAP for short, revitalization and placemaking grant. Revitalize the neighborhood by just fixing up a park, and they still giving you money, free money, to make your community what it needs to be. And the reason why I'm making you aware of this is because Detroit is resurging at a neighborhood level. I went around and showed you over on the west side, the new construction went off of Lasser. And then I took you down through east side of Detroit, 48214, where they're taking these older homes and just putting siding on them. They're not even brick in their $300,000-$400,000. And the government is also being a partner in all of this. So you can actually get more, out of your money, stretch your dollars. So one of the first things we always talk about in our training classes is build a team. This is not for you to be a solo act on or lone ranger. Build a team. You say, well, I don't know who. Listen, you have to start joining other circles. If in your media circle, and this is no offense to anyone on the call, please hear me from my heart. Hear my heart. If there's nobody in your circle that wants to do this, you're in the wrong circle of friends. You have to add some people. This guy says, Tony Robbins, no, not Tony Robbins. Dean DeGracio says, the most important decision you're making in your life is the 5 people you hang around. That's more important than your husband or your wife that you choose. Because the 5 people you hang around will literally bring your economics to their level. So if you want more, you have to elevate and join other circles. They have great networking events. I was at this conference downtown. Sometimes you have to pay to be in the circle of proximity. Sometimes you don't. Google Facebook and join all the real estate community groups. Go on Facebook and join other groups. Was there a comment or question? Somebody might have two mics on because you're echoing, so we're not hearing you. Can you mute one of your lines? I'm sorry, but it still is echoing. Anyway, we talked about building a team. I'm just gonna ask you, whoever's that is, just mute your phones if you could, because we're not able to hear you. But we talked about building a team. You need to find somebody who's a good contractor, somebody who's a good real estate agent, somebody who has a good insurance. You're gonna insure your properties. You're gonna have to have a good attorney to make sure your contract is good. You have a good real estate agent who's been doing business for about 20 years or more, 15 years or more, 10 years more. They pretty much understand a good contract because they know how to protect their clients. Okay? But you have to have team members. And then in your family, if there's somebody in your family, look at some business colleagues. I'm at PT. I told my PT guy, I said, he's an Indian guy. And they were talking about all the people that I said, a lot of you guys are high income earners, but you just get eaten up with taxes. You don't have anything to write it off. So he's bringing a team of 4 guys. They were all together. They all go to church together, but they're always talking about how much money they pay in taxes. They didn't know there was a real estate option that would give them a write-off for the depreciated value. So I'm going to have a meeting with them, show them how they can team up and be a part of a project. They don't have to run the real estate. They're busy professionals. They don't have to go find the real estate. They're busy professionals, but we could bring a deal to them that they can put money in, 25, 50, 100,000, how much they want to spend. They can actually take part of their 401k and make a self-directed 401k, take that money, put it into a real estate deal, and as the dividends come into it, it's going into their same tax-deferred IRA account. It's just that they're directing the growth of their money instead of trusting the institution like a Charles Schwab or Merrill Lynch. They're managing it. TD Ameritrade, they're managing it. And you can do that. We show you how to do these things. That's a syndicated project. So you can build a team where you as a team are actually hands-on, boots on the ground, making it work. Or you could have a syndicated project team where you collaborate with others and you let your money 100% do all the work. That is truly a passive income. Now I tell people real estate is passive income. Not all real estate is passive. You get money without you earning it, but sometimes there's some management of the properties. So that's some part. You got to get the property rehab. There's some engagement there. But a syndicated is truly passive. You let somebody else leverage your monies and they show you what you're going to get back in 5 years. It's all SEC regulated. That's with the federal government. It's not like somebody can just run off with your money. They have to give you private placement memorandums. And it's just like if you were to go buy some stock off a New York stock market, you have to do certain documentation and paperwork. You get a K-1 statement at the end of the year, how much money you earn. But on that real estate piece, it's going to show how much that property depreciated and your percentage of that depreciation. So if it's an $18 million property and you get just a 3% for depreciation value on yours, it's a game changer. So you have a tax shelter as well. Let me go to the next slide. Then we talked about Detroit housing trends. Like I asked some of you guys earlier, how many had seen the videos I put up. There are 2 areas in the city of Detroit right now that are hot, hot, hot. 48214 and 48206. The other markets have become saturated. You will still find deals in the 48207, which is over North End. You may still find something in Midtown, in Corktown, but you're going to shop a lot longer because those are the hot, hot, hot areas. I mean, they're just saturated. They've already, they're pretty much meeting their maturity. You have to buy into those areas at a higher price point. You may still find a deal, but you're entering the deal at 200,000, but it may be worth 5 or 4. Whereas the 48214 And the 48216, you may be able to still enter between 70 and 100, and you come out with 300 and 400 on the back end. That's what I say, those are the two ones that I know of. 48214, 48206. And so if you are on Google, I'm sorry, if you're Googling houses in Detroit, you want to use sites such as Redfin, Zillow, homes.com, I think it's called realty.com. All of those, you just put in those zip codes and you put a price range that you want to start at, and it'll bring you all those properties below that. And I tell people, just scroll all the way to the bottom. Don't just take the first two, so you go all the way to the very end of that list. And that's where you find. It's just like if you go on Google, if you search anything, there'll be billions of contacts that came up. You're never going to see the last page. You look at the first one or two. But on the last page is something that you can use. The same is true on some of these search engine sites for real estate. Go to the bottom, because people are not going to keep on thumbing through that far down. Does that make sense? So write in the chat, go to the bottom for me. Go to the bottom. That's how you do it. So we don't want to sleep on these trends that are happening. The housing industry has changed. I say revisit your community. Revisit where you grew up. That's what I'm doing. The 48214 is the area where I grew up. And when I went down there last year, I said, oh my God, I had to just buy it. I bought two. Okay? Two duplexes. Two units. On the first one, I went in at 110, it's worth 265. I put 70 in it. So I made $90,000. I pulled money out and had to put 29 into the deal. I pulled money out, I got 26,000. So my net spend was $3,000 to get the 90 some thousand in equity and to get 800 cash flow from the rents that are collected. So that's why I say we make calculated decision. All that numbers was calculated before I even signed the purchase agreement. I didn't hope that was what's going to happen. I knew that was going to happen because I already did my comps. Those were your comparables. And then I searched for a house who would have a gap of the 265, 300, and I can get in under 100. I knew I had a third in. You see how I did it? I knew it was 300,000. 265, 300. Now they were selling for 330. I came out with a 265 comp, so the lender will close the deal. Okay, I didn't need the 300,000 because I didn't want to pay the note on it because I know my rents need to be covered by my tenants. So I came in at the 265, would allow my rents to be covered by my tenants and other household expenses, and I still pocket me some money. Any questions on that piece right there? Because I want to make sure you're understanding this concept of how real estate works. Anybody? You see, I'm showing here the two zip codes. Somebody was talking about selling, even on Amazon, you could buy a home for $40,000. You got to put that on a lot with some plumbing. You got another 100,000, you have 140, and you got a tiny home. So why bother? But you can. We got a lot of vacant lots in Detroit, new construction, marginal homes. So someone told me today, we have something coming through Detroit. How many heard about the Joe Louis green belt? Put in the chat yes if you heard about or come off mute and say yes. The Joe Louis green belt. How many of people have heard of that? Let me go look at my chat. They say all day and twice on Sunday. I'm not sure I knew what that was the answer to. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, listen to this. Okay, I'm going to see if I could bring up the green belt. The green belt is a map that's going to go throughout the city. It is 27 miles, I believe. Any Detroiters know anything? Got some information to help me out with? Some of my local Detroiters on the call tonight. Let's see. I'm going to Google it. Anybody, just put yes in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. And I believe it's 27 miles. Okay, here it is. Joe Louis Greenbelt. Let's see if I can get a map of it. I want to share it with you. Certain parts of it has already been built and developed. So I'm going to share this with you. Real estate, guys, this is the trend. This is where you know where to buy. How do you know where to locate a good deal? That was the first thing we said tonight. How to locate a good deal, right? Let me come back to my Zoom. I'm about to share this with you. Where do you think you're going to get the biggest return on your property? In a hot, upcoming neighborhood or one that's old and established? New or old? Someone come off mute and let me know if they can see my screen. You see this walkway? Anybody? Oh, come on, people. Y'all got to get in J. We trying to make some money tonight. I need some more happy people. I need some happy people. Okay. The Joe Louis Greenway is a 27-mile platform. Let me just make sure one quick. I saw somebody asking to get in the room. Hold on. Okay, let me go back to sharing. Okay, so back to Zoom, back to share. So it's a 27-mile walkway. I don't know what else to call it. Let's call it the Greenway. And it's going to connect from our River Walk up the DeQuinder Cut through Hamtramck, Highland Park, which is two of our embedded cities inside of Detroit. They're surrounded. And all the way over to the west side, back around toward downtown. 27 miles. It's called a recreational pathway. Can everyone see this, please? Y'all help me out. Just give me a go on the because like I say, when I'm sharing, I can't really see or hear, but a thumbs up if you're on the Zoom reactionary and just say you're hearing this, yes, or something in the chat. Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Okay, so what happens is vacant land is around that lot. Okay. If there's some vacant land and you bought it, do you think people may want to live around this nice walkway? Do you guys see how I talk about trends? You have to buy real estate in certain strategic areas. You have to be strategic about your acquisition. You don't just go even buy a car and say, oh, just give me that car right there. You test drive it. You see if it has features that you're looking for. You see, well, I've got to drive more often, I have to haul stuff, I get a truck. I don't have to haul, I may get a car. I'm trying to save on gas, I get a smaller car. I don't mind the gas, I'm gonna give me a big truck. SUV, I want to be up high. So we buy according to our needs. Real estate is not any different. You buy according to your real estate needs and goals of the money you want to generate. So if you were to buy in this area and there's a parkway, somebody may want to buy that house you fix up and their kids can walk across the street to this parkway. If you feel me, say yes. This parkway already has some segments built, but it's not all connected yet. So you can start buying lots along this pathway. There's a whole map. Let's see, here it is, the interactive map. Okay, so I'm gonna ask somebody in the chat. Tell me again if you see this change map. You see this map here? It goes all at 27 miles. They're telling you what's already been funded. It's not even been fully funded. You see these white stretches? They still need to get money to close up some gaps, right? But when they're done, it's going to actually go throughout the city. So right here, you should be buying. Why? They ain't even got started yet. But do you think they're going to leave that little piece unfunded? No. If you know anything about the Detroit Riverwalk, you see we closing at the last park next weekend, 2 weekends on the 25th. Look at here. This is on the east side. Hello, look at here. This is on the west side, almost down by Dearborn. So this is probably like Joy, West Chicago, Warren, West Warren. Look at here, almost downriver. I'm not sure what part this is, guys. You gotta help me out. What's near Melvindale on River Rouge? I guess just Southwest Detroit. Yeah, this is Southwest Detroit. West Verner, Clark Street, because this is Michigan Avenue. So yeah, this is Southwest Detroit. And again, this has already been built. This has already been funded. You see that? This is all under construction. From here all the way over to here is already under construction. Okay, I don't want to be the dead horse. Trends. You follow the trends. So if you're looking to invest in Detroit, this is where you want to be. You could just buy land. Either the city will buy it from you or somebody gonna want to buy some land to build some new, all these little, this could be a perfect new, all of a sudden in the neighborhood, they want to put some new apartments up because they have this as an amenity. One of the things you want to talk about in wherever you buy a piece of land, don't buy any real estate. And I want y'all to write this in the chat. Unless you have 10 amenities that they can walk to and enjoy, either a 10-minute walk or a 10-minute drive. Put 10 minutes in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Why buy a house that nobody wants to live there and you hope a tenant's going to come? If there's not 10 amenities that somebody can walk to or drive to, why would they want to live there? Think about where you live, and what you love about your community. Put a 10 in the chat and let me understand why you want to buy something that nobody wants to live there. Real estate, it was a pretty house. That's not important. You want a tenant. You want the house making money. You want somebody to come buy that house off of you if you're doing a fix and flip. So you have to find 10 amenities. And then you can say, that's a one layer. Okay, this might be a good deal. Then you got to still do your comps. What are they selling for in the area? If I acquire for 300 and they sell them for 300, why the heck you need to buy for? You can't make any money. But if they're selling for 300 and you got it for 175, you can put 50 in it, you made some money. When you wrote the purchase agreement for 175, knowing you had to spend 50,000 in it, that put you at 225 and they're going for 3, you made $75,000. Sell it and you made $75,000. It's a numbers game. It's not the kitchen, the bathroom, and the roof. It's the asset. And the asset is strategically positioned within 10 minutes of nice 10 amenities. That's why 10 to 10 is easy to remember. Within 10 miles of driving, a 10-minute drive or a 10-minute walk, you should have 10 amenities. Or it shouldn't be a 10 on your list to acquire. Does that make sense? Give me a yes in the chat. So that's how we evaluate good deals. We pencil the deal. We call it penciling the deal. That means when I sign my name on that purchase agreement, the deal is making money. I signed it for $110,000 because I knew they was all selling for $310,000, from $275 to $300, and I came in at $265 on purpose. Why? So I closed it fast. I still made my money, and that's what I want to help you do. So this is not something, I hope I'm giving you the simplicity of. I'm not saying you got this and you can do it by yourself, but with the coach and with the team and with some education, you can be this confident in doing your deals. You know how to have an eye to find a deal. That's what this whole thing was about tonight, showing you that it is doable. And what I do in my training is show you how to design an eye for those deals. First and foremost, before we even start real estate with you, as Lisa said, she had a good day because she knows she can control her environment. First thing we do is you have to do your wealth strategy assignment. What does wealth mean to you first and foremost? What is your mindset that will either block you or propel you forward about getting some wealth in real estate? That's the first assignment. Set your wealth goals and let me understand your mindset. Answer some questions about some wealth. That's our first thing we do in our class. But I give you all of me every week. We're finding properties. We don't just sit up here and say, no, every week you got to find me 3 properties. Why you would buy it? This week might be why you wouldn't buy it. I want your eye to be so keen that you can look, leave that right there. And that's why I have had success in my business. That's why I have successful clients. That's why I have a team, a mother-daughter team on their second property and just trained with me a year ago. Because the first deal we told her hand second day, she said, I got this. She had to check in and review. She wanted to went to battle. I said, don't you bet the house, girl. Oh, that's right. You said the numbers don't work. It's all about the numbers. Well, Kimle, it's all about the numbers. If you work from the numbers, you're going to win every time. Because when you sign it with ink. Another thing we do in our class, after we help you understand what wealth means to you and you identify your wealth goals, then we sit there and talk about what are the principles that make real estate a good asset class to invest with. As I said, appreciate it. I can take 100,000, put 70 in and force it to 300,000. I don't have to wait 15 years to get to 300,000. I can force that appreciation. I could buy in today and sell it tomorrow at a higher price because I came in with the proper equity. There's 11 principles we're going to teach you about real estate. And when you look at all those 11, the property management of that, I'm going to hold this. Is that a neighborhood where you should be holding the property? Or is that a neighborhood you should just get in and get out? You have to know which strategy to use and at what time. We're going to talk about how you never sign the contract without having exit strategies in 5 days in case you look at it and when you do your due diligence, if it's something's not right, you can get out without losing your earnest money deposit. We talk about those things with your purchase agreement. We also talk about the assumptions. We talk about those 10 amenities you should have. You should have some assumptions of why that deal is good. You got to sell me why that deal is good and why you're going to make some money before you get me to endorse off of it. Now, I make some people mad because they swear to God it's good. And I've had people just go ahead and do it, only to find out they broke even. I have a young brother right now. He did a deal. He was going to take the class. He was going to, I said, Brother Rob, don't buy that house. He bought it anyway because he thought he can get in and get out because I looked at the comps, but he didn't do his total due diligence. And now he's sitting on a house that's not selling. He's too close to the market. You have to allow room to discount. Like y'all heard me say, I went at 265 instead of 325. I had room to discount and I still made my 90. You see, if that makes sense, put a yes in the chat. You got to know where to price your deals. Then you're going to be strategic. Target an area. I target a zip code. You may want to target by a couple of blocks. Once you set your target, you just you got your real estate agent, give me everything that pop up on there the day it pop up. I'll be up in the middle of the night. Oh, pop that up. Hey, write that up first thing in the morning. Put my application in. Because I know where I'm going to shop at. We're going to show you how to analyze a deal. Make sure you can make money. Either you're making a deal so you can get some cash flow. You're making a deal because you're trying to get a lump sum and cash out with a fix and flip. Or you want to cash out where you can, like say, buy, hold it. We call it the Burr method, and rehab it, take the money out and let it rent and still make money because they're servicing the debt, but you got the cash money up front. These are the things we teach in our real estate course, and we don't stop there. We absolutely hold your hand till you buy a deal. Whether you buy that deal within our education period of time or you buy that deal a year later, I'm right there. When you sign that contract, we are reviewing it together. Once you take my class, I'm always a call away. Please do not buy a deal. Sign a contract and don't let me see it. I want to make sure you win. Y'all might have heard me in the beginning. I had what's his name? DJ Khaled, whatever. All we do is win. Because in real estate, that's all we do. We don't gamble. Go down to the casino if you want to gamble. Okay? If you want to gamble, go to the casino. If you want to win, work with me. Okay? Because that's all we do is win. Does that make sense? Any questions? I've shared with you about the program that I offer. I share with you what we do before you close your deal. And what I want to know next is how many people are ready to get started in real estate? Who wants to come offline if you can and talk about it? Who's ready? I got a silent audience tonight. Come on, somebody? Anybody? Just do me a favor, if you're not able to text, just or chat, just say I got background noise or something, so we know.
Hey, Kimle,
Can y'all hear my music?
not good. Hey, Kimle.
Go ahead, Douglas. So that's why we make sure everybody wins. Yes, Miss Michelle.
Um, I spoke to a few family members, but I didn't get a chance to really nail it to them about joining the Zoom. Do you think you're gonna do it one more Monday? I just need one more Monday for them to.
So what I would do is probably not, because this is our first Monday on the calendar. I had to set these Mondays up based on my calendar. So last week we had some people were glitched, and I apologize to you if they were some of those who didn't know we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passcode. So they didn't
Yeah.
come. Yeah. So what I would do, this is recorded, Michelle.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it's recorded.
So if you would like, I will get you the recording. Everybody who's listening tonight, I'll get you the recording. I believe I'm recording.
Yes, that's a good idea.
And then I would advise you to just then ask everybody to, you can look at the recording online, together, and you guys can, or either just email it to them, or I would rather you all come together and watch it together. And that way, if they have questions, you guys can make, note of them. You can call me and ask one of those questions, because we're ready to get started.
Right. That's a good idea. I
Okay.
forgot about the recording.
So one of the things I didn't mention too, this is the fall. Every fall I do this. We do
Right.
Get 10 to Win.
Yep.
I'm going to bring up my course. It's going to be off a day because, like I said, we did a replay for tonight based on the fact that we had some glitches last week. Let me find it. So the course costs $4,000, and we work together for the next 6 months. We meet twice a month. In between our meetings, you have access to me. We do open hours. You just have to let me know so we can schedule those for you. One-to-ones, if you have questions, or you say, look, I found a deal, can you look at it? I always ask people, you text me, call me and say, take a look at this deal, text it to me, the link, or say I sent your email, or some kind of way so I can go and get back with it, and we can make sure it's something that you can, win with. And then once we do that, we answer any questions, take you through the whole training program, talk about these in details about appreciation, the 11 principles. You have exercises that you're doing between every session. One weekend, you come back with 3 deals you would buy. The next week, you got to buy 3 deals you wouldn't buy. Now, what's so good about this is you may find a deal you're ready to buy.
Right.
That's how my sisters, the mother and the daughter team, found the deal. They actually found one in Port Huron. That's outside of Detroit. For those who are not in the Metro Detroit area, that's out of Detroit about 45 minutes, out 94 eastbound.
Right.
And they found a beautiful 4-unit. It was by a university. And it was also by this really nice book. The guy was just ready to let it go. And nobody wanted to buy it. And so they went up all the way up to there to look for it.
So I'm glad you reminded me about the recording. I didn't even think about that. So
Yeah,
we
so
can
that's an
put up.
option for your team as well.
Yeah.
But in the Get 10 to Win, as I said, so the $4,000 is reduced by 25% if it's paid in full at the start of the course. That comes to $3,000. Whether you pay in full with the 25% discount, you still can share that up to 10. I'm not saying you have to have 10, but you can share it up to
Up
10.
to 10. Right. Okay.
Whether you do, or if you do the 4,000, you put $1,500 down and you pay $500 a month. You can share that up to 10. Doesn't require 10. There were some people last fall who thought they had to have 10. I think they had 7. I said, no, it doesn't say you have to have 10. Up to 10. Get 10 to Win It's just to give you the best price point, but it's not mandatory to be 10. Now, why would I give the course away at that degree? Because reset, you need a team. If you get
Right.
5 people with you and they all understand it the same way, you have 5 minds looking out the same lens, you're going to win that much faster.
Ups.
You
Right.
can do deals that
Right.
much faster because you can have multiple people putting the deals in their names. You got the contractor working with you guys. He ain't gonna leave you guys. He'll get all your properties done. I just keep my contract deal to deal to deal. Okay. If I'm not doing it, put it on my client. I'm going to be your construction partner. I'm going to make sure you got good people on your job. I'm going to be your set of eyes. I don't believe in that junk. If you saw me talk about the doors last week, did anybody see the door video? Where the man put the trim one side, he went past the door. On the
Yes,
right, on the left side, he took the trim above the top of the door. And I
yes.
was like, you will not get that on my deals. No. And I posted my deal when the classroom last week. I posted a deal that I did. I found a deal while I was teaching the class. Anybody want a deal? I gave one of the deals away. This deal nobody wanted. It was a little bit higher than their entry point, but I went ahead and took it. But I demonstrated it every day what we were doing. They got to see it. And I'm doing it right with them. So they don't think, oh my God, it's going to be overwhelming. No, I'm doing this right alongside you. Now I know there's many coaches, they pay for a class, you do so many modules, it's all modules by yourself, you're not working. I don't do modules. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'd like to be engaged because mainly I want to make sure you're getting the knowledge that I want you to have. Maybe I'll make
Right.
modules later. I have one class that I recorded the whole thing. I don't give modules. I want you to say, did you get it? Now, when we do the class, I'm gonna be honest. I know this is introductory, so I ain't like putting nobody in pressure because you all volunteered to be here tonight. But when you come to class, you got to come to class. If I say, did we see it? Somebody got to tell me something.
Right. You're right. You're very right.
I'm just loving on you tonight because I know I missed out on some of you all seeing this last week. But I like to know if there's any questions about the course. Is there any questions about what you get from the course, our format? Is there anything you have questions about tonight? How to work with your municipality. If you maybe it's not in the state of Michigan and you want me to help you research it, just put in the chat, help me find what's in my state. Just put in the chat, help me find it, find my state, and I can help you find it because it happens. It's it's the United States Department of Housing that's doing this. And I know your city and your county is doing something because our
Well,
housing
I,
is so great.
I just want to say, Kimle, I think you deliver amazing. Your speaking voice as well is calm, is you have humor. I think all of that's important to keep people engaged. I really, really do. Because you've seen how many times I've signed on. Because number one, real estate is just always fascinating to me, and the way you deliver is just as important. So I want to compliment you on
Well,
that.
I do appreciate that. I will get this recording to you, get your team together, and come on, join us this time. This is our 4th round. I think we had ladies from Indiana. We've had guys from Baltimore. It just hurts me because people from out of state take action. And the
That's
people
right.
who I'm driving down these streets, you go drive it yourself. The people out of state can say, I made it up. It could be AI. I don't know. But the people in Detroit, you right here, go drive over there yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It
I
tickles me. But
I look
they
at
say
that area.
sometimes, I don't know
I,
why it is, but I'm not going to sweat it. I want to work with those who are willing because that's what I do. I want everybody to win because this is a short window. Everything being built in Detroit is multi-unit apartments. And when they come and take this land, you only going to live in an apartment if you want a place to live. And that's
right.
what I'm saying. Do this. Get this for your family. Tell
And
your
I
family to take this record and look at it.
right. You mentioned Southwest Detroit, and my ear went up. But I
That's your
watched the
stomping grounds. And weren't you reared there?
and that's where I born and raised. But I also watch the news, especially Fox 2, and they're talking about all of this. I mentioned the lady June Tankard was on speaking the same way that you speak about classes and teaching and property. So keep Fox 2 in mind if you're there or at that point that you choose to
I'm
utilize
not going to
it.
be on Fox News with this story. I'm on Fox News with Ignite. I'm on WDIV Channel 4 about Ignite Detroit contractors.
Right, okay.
I'm getting contractors in position to be skilled to take on projects because I know I'm teaching development and we all need contractors. I also teach with the Building Community Value. You can go to buildingcommunityvalue.org. I work with Chase Cantrell. He's done major developments across 6 Mile corridor. I'm the construction TA. I'm helping his developers. He got about 35 people. Every other Saturday we together. It's going to be take action is all I can advise you to do because we're here to hold your hand. We're here to
And
hold your hand.
that's the teaching thing you do, the
Yeah, so I'm
teaching
doing
part?
the ecosystem. Yes, I'm doing the ecosystem. I'm working on the contractors. Dan Gilbert put up $1.2 million to help these contractors. I initially said no when my board members asked me if I would step down and do this role. First, I'm thinking, no, I don't have time. But then I got a bigger vision. If I want to see Detroit have massive impact and it stays in the hands of Detroiters, Black and brown Detroiters, I need to take that population of contractors and get them skilled. So as I'm teaching, as Chase is teaching, as the Real Estate Association of Developers is teaching, we have a contractor pool to control this real estate. We got to control these dollars with quality contractors. We have 2 layers, Motor City Contractors Fund and Ignite Detroit Contractors. And both of these get fund 50,000, they get up to $50,000 to manage and operate your properties until you can reimburse and pay. Then we have the Motor City for the large developments, 10 units and above, where they may need to have mobilization dollars of $300,000. But both programs are being managed by the same technical assistance team, and they're making sure we get contracts. On the contracting developer side, I'm making sure they get the skill set they need, and I'm teaching more real estate students to take advantage of these contractors and claim Detroit as our city is quickly falling into hands of not even just non-Detroiters, but non-US citizens.
Ex-citizens. How do they get
Non-US
in
citizens.
touch with you with the contract development or
I'm going
teaching?
to put my contact information in here, and this should all show.
Okay,
Actually, I'm going to go to the last slide, and that way I'll make sure it's in the presentation.
you're at 8:30 also.
Yes, I am. That's why I'm about to put the last slide on the screen so that those who want to get my information, they can see this. They can share it. You will all get the replay as I stated. Okay. Do I need to make that a little bit bigger? It does seem kind of small even to me. Oh, not quite that big, but
That's perfect.
I don't know what I just did, y'all. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, let me just make it a little bigger. Okay, there you go. So there's my information. I'm Dr. Kimle Naylor. I'm Fairport Investments, Inc. You can reach me at my Neil Wright Construction email. That's the construction company. And there's my phone. That is my direct cell. You can call me, text me. I will get back with you. I want to answer any questions you have. If you find you have more, you weren't able to talk tonight and you have questions you want to just take me aside, call me and I'll answer everything you need to know. You will get this recording. If you did not put an email in the chat, put an email in the chat because sometimes Zoom doesn't always register. I think that was just an open access. But if you want a copy of the recording, put your email in the chat and I will link this recording to you as soon as it populates. You'll have 2 weeks to look at it. You can download it to your own device, but it'll be up for 2 weeks before I take it down, just to keep my memory within a budget that I continue to support more people. But that's my name, that's my number. Fairport Investments, my real estate company. Neil Wright Construction is my construction company. And we will advise you on all that you do, your acquisition, your rehab. I don't demand you work with me as a contractor. I will be an overseer for your contract if you choose, just to make sure you're satisfied. But I just want to make sure you win. I'm going to be more so your hands-on to make sure your numbers are right for your development project.
Read your chat.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. I hope everyone got that. When you get the replay, you'll see that as well. If you still need my information, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out on your Monday evening to learn about the trends that are happening in Detroit. As I said, we got the Joe Louis Greenway, we got Mishta giving away free money. And MEDC giving money for placemaking for the open land if you want to create some kind of revitalization. Does everyone here have their own tin? Is a question. I know Michelle was saying she was putting 3 or 4 people together. So everyone they can get their own tin, or you guys can be each other's tin. We had people do that as well. So I do have someone named Owner. I don't know what your first name is, Owner. You're just saying Owner. If you want to give me a name, Owner, I'll just so I can address your email to you. I see FF Carpet 2003 at Yahoo by Owner. Is that a last name? Was that someone's? If you can come off mute or either just put it in the chat, a first name for FF Carpet 2003. If you want be on someone's team, say I want to be on the team, just put me on the team.
Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you, yes.
Oh, this is Venetia. How you doing, Kimle?
Very well. How are you, Venetia?
I'm doing fine. I don't know why my name didn't come up,
Okay, I
but let
just
me put
changed
it
it
in
to
there.
Venetia. I just changed it to you. So now I'll see when it comes up
Oh,
on
there
the
you go.
side, it's going to show your name. So I know who to send the email to. Yes. Okay. So thank you again, everyone. We are at 8:33. I want to give you your evening back. Again, if you want to be on somebody's team, put me on your team. The emails will be out to you all so that you can have that. You have my phone number. You can text me anything you want to text me as well. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you. So it's all about let's win. So gotta close out. All right, everybody. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Hopefully I'll see you all next week.